because Ty set the precedence, right? And you guys all did this collectively. So I would like to know that. I'm glad Ty's back up on that panel. Ty, who would you say, because you specifically said that not all men are leaders, and I would agree with you. And I'm gonna go somewhere with this. Who would you say is the leader in your relationship?
My man.
Why?
I mean, because he is just very masculine in himself. Like, he's very self-assured. I trust his judgment on things. I've been in multiple situations, even when I questioned it, he still ended up being right. Like, he embodies it, right? He walks into a room, people instantly respect him. He doesn't have to ask for it. He's not loud. He's not combative. He's not even flashy or showy, but people notice him. They respect him. They don't challenge him. It's just an essence that he has.
Oh, okay. I thank you for answering that. And this is not to highlight you, but thank you for answering. I appreciate it. I'm gonna tell you why. For your exchange with your man, I'm glad that works. Y'all union sounds amazing, right? But I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with what you said. From men, not all men are leaders. On the outside of a relationship, I agree with you. But the issue is that most relationships, if not all of them, start with us petitioning you guys to be with us. And then typically when somebody is inquiring for something, they typically are operating from a place of position and power. So you can't say, in my opinion, that all men are not leaders that are seeking relationships. That's the frame I'm using. I'm not talking about outside of that. And I think that they cross that.
That was the caveat, though, right? Because I wasn't talking about specifically in relationships. It was just in general, like, are all men leaders? No, that's why a lot of men might not be in relationships. That's why an incel community, because all men do not have that. All men can't even put themselves in a position to petition for a relationship. They don't have the confidence to do so. They're afraid to approach women. So, you know what I mean?
I can't remove that to not be somewhat true. So I hear you.
Okay.
What I think most men do it. Maybe we compartmentalize. Maybe we're more binary. I don't know how much it aids to us talking about very small subsets of things. I think that in a typical fashion, heterosexual men want to be with women in typical fashion. And this is why I've heard this constantly, that men are not leaders. No relationship I know operates without us making it happen. And women typically will say yay or nay. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
In that dynamic, he is leader in that dynamic always. There is no change of the guard, because it was facilitated by him petitioning. And I don't know why this is such a struggle, because it's, you go from being single, right, as a young lady, to now having someone. I got a boyfriend, or I got a husband, or whatever, right? But someone had to invite that, right? He's leader. Is that fair to say, or is that a hard concept to understand?
I don't think it's a hard concept to understand. I think to a certain degree, it is fair to say that they lead the efforts in the relationship. But even going back to what Illa was stating, right? Even that man that's quote unquote passive, that got with that woman who is, the CEO over a company, he might have facilitated leading that relationship, but he's not the leader of his home. So I still go back to my main topic, that all men are not necessarily leaders. And I think some men have to learn how to be leaders, just like some women have to learn how to be in their femininity and and be quote unquote a woman in the relationship, or have those womanly attributes. I think it's just something that people as humans sometimes have to learn depending on their history.
Todd, what does leading a home mean? What that mean? What that look
All
like?
leaders, man.
No, can I get a chance to chime in on the question? Yeah. Because I just want to point out that because you're the one that is asking a question, because when you ask to be in a relationship with a woman, when you ask for her hand in marriage, she has to give you the affirmative or the negative, right? She has to be the one. She's the deciding factor in whether or not it moves forward past that point. So once you've made the decision that you want to be in a relationship, or you want to get engaged to this woman, she still has to agree to that. So it's a dual situation of people deciding how to move forward. If she decides to move forward with a man who she deems to be a leader because she desires to follow, she will say yes. If she deems you not to be a leader, she will say no. If a woman is with a man, or she's propositioned by a man who is not a leader, but she does not desire a leader, she will say yes. If he acts like he needs to be in leadership and she does not desire a leader, she will say no. So she still has the decision whether or not that person's a leader or is not a leader. It just depends on what she wants. So just like what Bo said, it is what the dynamic requires. She's going to choose what works for her. And because she is the one who says yes or no, you can't say he's the leader in that situation just because he asked a question. A question's a question. Employees ask questions all the time. Kids ask questions. Everybody asks questions. You're not going to tell me that simply because somebody asked a question, can I get a promotion, boss? Can I get a raise? No.
Yo, you love to conflate stuff, man.
Hey,
yo, she funny, yo.
All men are leaders.
Wait a minute. Hey, hold on. I need to bring what's in the back chat to here.
Please do.
I said all men are not leaders is the thing. Aisha agreed. Humble Dad disagreed and said all men are leaders. So I asked him what qualifies all men to be leaders. He said the mustache man was a leader. What in the world is the baby?
Can I answer that? That's easy.
I don't want to lose the spirit of what I was saying, and then we can definitely expound upon that. I'm not trying to.
No, I really want to know why in the world anyone would bring up a degenerate German piece of trash and say that he was not a leader. He was a dictator. He was an evil piece of crap. That's what he was. And you bringing that up, and I'm really glad you did, proves the fact that all men are not leaders. That man unalived so many people. You think that man should have been? That man was not a leader. That man was a dictator. That is much different. And if you think that is a leader, then that proves that you do not know what a leader is. You know what a dictator is. And that is unsafe for women. A man like that is unsafe for women.
That's not necessarily true. If
I got it, Kiana. I got it. I'll explain. I'll teach the lesson. Okay. The word is leader. If you provide a general understanding or definition of a leader, right? If you would you be able to tell me what a leader is? And I guarantee you all the things that you would say will constitute that the person that I said is a leader. The thing that you need to get to is who is a good leader and who is a bad leader. Because that is a such thing as a good man and there's a such thing as a bad man. Words do matter. So when we say that all men are not leaders, that is not a true statement. All men are leaders, okay? Because that is their natural born state of where God has put them as the leaders. Now, women have the opportunity to decide which man they want to be their leader. And then as a result of you saying, yes, I want this dude to be my leader, you are saying that you're falling under his headship and you are saying that you believe that he is a good leader. That is why you are following him. However, there are women that will follow bad leaders. So once again, since you're trying to educate me, all men are leaders. And so as a result of it, it is your decision on how you determine what a good leader is. And oftentimes women do a bad job of selecting what a good leader is. And so you continue to, as in general, continue to put all men in the box that you said that you did not want to be designed as just all men are not leaders. When in fact, all men are leaders. Some are good, some are bad.
Okay, so I'm going to respond to that. First things first,